Zohab Hassanali with Friday Night Glory here with Cedar Hill head coach Joey McGuire. Coach, 36-21 win tonight. This was probably one of your closer games until midway in the fourth quarter. Talk about how important it is to have that tight game there.
Hey, you said it perfectly. It's extremely important, and that's one thing that we'll talk about all week long is we grew off of this, and we talk all the time about in non-district you gotta grow in some areas, and being in a dogfight, being a close game, most of the time it's a 2-point game. Us having to go down and score to stretch the lead, it's huge going into district.
Coppell made a couple of adjustments there late in this first half. There, number 7, the running back, was running up the middle and gaining some big yards. What did you guys tell your defense at halftime? They kind of slowed him down in the second half a little bit.
Well, a lot of it, if you go to that, up until that drive, we'd given up 3 yards rushing, and then you have the one drive that he got 51 yards, and it was all that we were getting out of our gaps. We weren't going underneath their pullers, and it goes back to being disciplined. I think sometimes it was almost a little bit of a lull in the game, and then they come out and they wanted to play more than we did on that drive, and they did a great job getting in the end zone.
And speaking of that, Coppell cut it to, I believe, a 23-21 score there. You guys buckled down and didn't give up anything the rest of the way. Talk about the resiliency. I know, for example, the 3rd and 21 that Avery completed, and you guys ended up scoring. Talk about the resiliency of this team, not getting too nervous, staying calm and composed there.
Well, it starts with the guy you were talking about, Avery Davis. He's one of those guys that he's never 2 up or 2 down. He gets excited when we do things good, and internally he's hard on himself whenever something bad happens, but he's a guy that you feel comfortable making those calls. It was down on our end zone. We had talked about getting half of it. He ended up getting all of it. I think he kept the play alive with his feet, and that's something that he can do each week.
And I heard you in the post-game huddle talking about the bye week,
right.
Maybe doing some paintballing or something. Other than the fun stuff, what do you guys? What's your mentality going into this bye week before district?
The big thing is get healthy, take care of our grades. This is the last week of the 6 weeks coming up, and we want to make sure we don't want C's, we want A's and B's. We talk a lot to our kids about they've made enough C's in their lifetime. We're trying to get our GPAs up to go to college, so we'll really focus on that. We'll focus on getting healthy. We'll take a look at Midlothian and go scout them, but we want to have a little bonding time. We've done a couple things in the past, and we're going to do it again this time.
And then one last question, your defense has, prior to tonight, had been giving up 9 points a game.
Right.
Gave up 21 tonight, but how great was it to just have that trust in your offense to just go out there and get the job done whenever Coppell responded?
Well, that's the one thing we talked to Avery about. The biggest score is a score responding to a score. Whenever they've got the momentum, you go grab it back by scoring. And so I thought he did a great job of coming out. We were without our starting center. We were ugly early. We had some high snaps. In this offense, you can't do that. Settled down. I thought the offensive line played pretty good tonight. We'll keep getting better in that because they're young. But we got a lot of stuff that we need to work on going into this bye week.
And then one more last question. Yeah. I know you don't want to look at other teams and do any scoreboard watching, but with DeSoto losing last night, going to 1-3, how do you keep this team from getting a little too overconfident looking at standings?
Well, they ain't going to worry about DeSoto, because I'll promise you this: DeSoto's going to be just fine. I told Todd, I said, in 2012 we played for the state championship and we were 1-3, and when DeSoto comes to town, it will be just as jacked, and they'll be it's a battle of Beltline, so it doesn't matter what the records are. But I promise you, you're fixed to see DeSoto go on a run and be back on track. They're fine. They've been playing some really tough teams. I've been there. In 12 we got beat by Booker T. Washington, we got beat by Allen, and we got beat by DeSoto. Those were our 3 losses. I didn't think those were bad losses. Those are 3 great football teams.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
It's a great day to be a Longhorn.